boss. About Eli. I'd heard that one product of the Les Enfants Terribles project went missing in Africa. The age would be about right. Now, I'm not saying I think it's Eli, but I want to run a genetic test all the same. Don't worry, I'll have it done without him noticing. The test may take some time, but I'll tell you as soon as we have the results. Boss, this contract comes from the Mbele rebel militants. That's right. That general's fighters. Recently, one of their child soldier platoons staged an insurrection and split from the main group. Thing is, they took a hostage with them. The general's brother, his number 2. The contract is to extract both that prisoner and the leader of the renegade platoon. The message reads, "I love my brother. You must bring him back to me alive." It also says this about the leader of the child soldiers. He is an excellent soldier. I want to persuade him to rejoin the ranks of the righteous. Sounds a little too forgiving for the man who ordered those kids dead at the mine. I wonder what kind of persuasion the general has in store. With that in mind, here are your objectives. First, rescue and return the general's number 2 as requested. Second, extract the renegade leader, and we'll keep him at Motherbase. In other words, extract both targets out of the region. Good luck, boss.
Mission accepted. Heading to Central Africa. Plant expansion. The map has been updated.
Be careful down there, boss. Reconnaissance is best conducted from high vantage points. I've marked a good spot on your map. Take a look at your iDroid.
The map has been updated.
Is that him? Take a good look at that face. Okay, that's the general's brother, his number 2. Get him out of there, boss. There he is, the commander. Extract him.
Clouds approaching.
Commander, Exo.
Yanti Waka Nantoto.
Mubanda ya Waka Mbina Mukalaka Yani. Mutasala Mbuta Nyonto Mbigina. Ebuna, Sananki Beto Fayandi Ve Balamosi. Commander.
Ve.
Sananki.
Yata Vanda Mfunu Sana Beto.
Tansi, Bobantu Kufaka Pafamina Beto.
Muzaba.
Mbidina. Ketinge Kemona Yombote.
Kuri Tungi Save. Kana Beto Kezola Luzingu. Beto Fue Kwende Malembe.
Kimave. Kanange Kemona Mutindu Yina.
Okay, pesa rapo.
Beto Memanisa. Inki Beto Kesala Diaka.
Beno surveye Kisikayai. General Talanda Beto. Muzaba. Beno Keba.
Beto Mebakisa.
Extract the general's number 2.
Usadiso. Pangi ya General ya Bakala. Lumbu, Mosi, Tata ya Bankaka, na Mono, Elaka Mono, Mambu General Salaka.
That's the target prisoner. He's injured. Looks half-starved, too. There's no way he can stand the shock of a Fulton extraction. Get him out by chopper.
Please select a landing zone.
Mosi, Tata ya Bankaka, na
Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Elaka Mono, Mambu General Salaka. Bantu ya Buta, ya mbele, etinkaka Mosi, beto nyonso, ke bampangi, atampi dina, ya ikentango, ya kuvutuka diaka, ni mave, menga, ke kilo, kuta masa, kutula nambi ke kilo, menga.
You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
Mission info has been updated.
Gaining altitude. Boss, about how we report this one to the client. I'll tell them we took heavy resistance from the renegade platoon and the hostage was killed in the firefight. Also, their leader wouldn't let himself be taken alive. I doubt the client will pay us for this one, but we got a big enough reward from the General's number 2 instead. And as for the number 2, he's saying he wants to join Diamond Dogs. I guess he knows what that means for him. He said, if I'm working for you, I can be number 2 or number 200 for all I care. Boss, we have an emergency. Many of our staff are falling ill. At first it seemed like a common cold, but before we knew it, blisters started popping up on their chests and... Damn it. I'll fill you in at the ACC. Just get in the chopper. Look closely. Those are the symptoms of the infection on Motherbase. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop. The infection rate, along with the number of dead, are both on the rise. If we don't find the cause, and soon... Boss, do you remember seeing these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility, the bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House? This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher. It could be a counterplay by Skullface. That's insane. You mean they weaponize parasites? Parasites as weapons. That definitely falls under the Biological Weapons Convention. But it's something the world would never see coming. And no one's ever developed a vaccine for parasites. So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa? It may be. But if it is, how did the Yellow Cake and Walker Gears fit in? There must be something bigger we're not seeing. Anyway, our priority now is to prevent more casualties. The medical team is studying the infection, but we can't treat anyone until we know the root cause. All we can do right now is halt the spread of infection. Remember before, boss? When Quiet attacked one of our guys on Motherbase, stuck a knife in his mouth. He's one of the very few soldiers who've had contact with her recently. Close contact. I don't think it's a coincidence that he was among those who became symptomatic pretty early on in this epidemic. Saliva and blood spatter, an open wound, mucosal infection. Whatever is causing this got inside him then. Miller, that is a baseless accusation. The source of the infection is Quiet. Everyone suspects her. We don't know that. And we've come across these symptoms before. The bodies in the water at the oil-filled facility. Those sick people in the beds at the Devil's House.
They're identical to what we've seen while we've been after Cypher. The infection could have come from elsewhere. But at the very least, she does know something.
It's not like she's gonna talk.
No, not through words anyway. But what about her actions? Quiet held a knife to that soldier back then, before he became symptomatic. There must have been a reason for that.
A reason for shoving a knife down the throat of one of our men.
What if she's capable of identifying who's infected? What if she was trying to stop the infection but couldn't communicate that to us? The answer to that, the source of the infection, might be in the mouths of the infected.
You think there's some kind of clue in their mouths?
I don't know. But maybe there's something about the mouths of those who become symptomatic, something in common.
Something their mouths have in common. Forget it. We can't trust her. Even if she can spot the infected, I don't want her help.
I understand how you feel. But this is something to go on.
Can't you see it's just like I said? Bringing her here was a big mistake. Quiet is gonna be the end of us.
Stand down. You've got zero proof. Try to keep an open mind on this, boss. There has to be a way to identify who's infected.